What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? How the hell are you? All right. Nice little green Monday, guys. You know I love my Mondays. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. 115K Bitcoin. Will it last? That's the question on everybody's mind. Will it last? All right, we're going to get into it, guys. Is Grayscale about to crash the Bitcoin price? We're going to find out. We're going to talk about it, guys, and so much more. Let's get into it. First up, we got some super chats to get to. Jared, happy Monday, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Rightly divided. Yo, finally making a live. While I watch from work, good things come to people who have patience. Good luck. Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Could not have said it better myself. Fridge, my dude. You ever yield farm with like Ethereum using your own ETH for gas fees? And if so, I mean, I've yield farmed in the past, but to be honest with you, I've never really found it to be especially profitable. So too high is too much risk involved in yield farming as well, right? So, I mean, here, let me give you a quick list here, okay? All right, let me give you a quick list here of the pros and cons of yield farming, my friend. Let's talk about it. So, yield farming. Pros of yield farming, high potential returns. Yield farming can offer significantly higher returns compared to traditional investments, with some pools providing annual percentage or APY ranging from 10% to over 100% in certain cases, depending on the market conditions and incentives. Passive income. Once liquidity is provided, earnings are generated automatically, requiring minimal activity management beyond initial setup. Access to new tokens, diversification, incentivized participation, and flexibility. However, the cons, impermanent loss. And this is why I don't do much yield farming. When providing to liquidity pools, price divergence between paid assets can lead to losses compared to simply holding the asset, especially in volatile markets. High risk of loss. DeFi protocols are susceptible to hacks, bugs, or rug pulls, fraudulent projects. Complexity. Yield farming requires understanding complex mechanisms like liquidity pools, so it's not for beginners. Gas fees can be high. Market volatility, regulatory uncertainty, smart contract risks, and reward dilution. As more users join the pool, rewards and participants may decrease, like we see with Onyx Coin Protocol, for example, right? So for me personally, the risks do not outweigh the rewards for it. So I generally don't participate in yield farming, but to each their own, I suppose. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's see what's going on. Let's get into the chat a little bit before we get this party started. Oh, we got another super chat. What do we got? Kevin dropping that cheddar. Thanks for everything. You are the new EF Hutton. Yes, I have aged myself. With your help, my portfolio is at all-time highs again today. Nice. Congratulations, my brother. That's what I like to hear, man. Winning. That's what we do. We win, baby. Absolutely. All right, let's get into the chat a little bit. I appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you to everybody who shot me a super chat. It means a lot, guys. The support really does. It really does, man. Okay, let's get into it just a wee bit here. Let me scroll to the top of the chat, see what's going on. We're going to talk about it, guys. Grayscale. What's about to happen? William, I see you, buddy. What's going on? Blanc in the house, crash again. Hello, Robin, Crypto Fam. What's going on? Big C, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. K Lily in the house. Jake the Snake, Money Shot Time. Spuds, what's up, buddy? Attila the Hun, good times coming. Let's go. Zebek to $1. Could you be, or that would be crazy. Could you imagine? Mad Adam, what's going on? How many dips does it take to get to the center of a Bitcoin pop? Let's ask the owl. 1, 2, 3, and boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Galaxy Shooter, what's going on? Happy Civic Holiday from Ontario. There you go. The market is indeed drunk. Nicholas, Rob, saw your sheet. Nicholas, I don't answer questions about our exit price points from the Patreon on YouTube. So ask me over there, or ask in the general chat, or in one of the live streams we do over there. H. Barbarina in the house. Attila the Hun, we got to be closer than yesterday to the best part of the parabolic. Exactly. That's one way to look at it. Kizza, what's good, my man? What's good? Yo Mars in the house. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel on the way in. It helps the channel grow. It doesn't cost you a single solitary thing. So go ahead and get that done for me real quick. I'll even pause and wait, guys. I'll pause and wait for you to hit the like button, and I'll shift gears to talk about how crazy it was that Brock Lesnar showed up and took out Cena at the end. Cena finally goes face again and gets his butt whipped, right? How you gonna play Cena like that? Green Tea, what's going on? Good to see you. Kizza, if we're expecting a rate cut in September, you still think we're gonna have a dump? Well, if Grayscale does what we're gonna talk about today, then we should see a dump. Yes, we already saw the dump I was originally talking about. I told you guys at the end of July that we were probably going to see a dump, a fake out to start August, and we saw that, right? So, gotta love the sport. There you go. Let's go Moon 100% this week, and next week we'll light the fuse and then blow away. Let's get it, folks. Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Crypto Fam and the 10%? What's up, my 10%ers? Paul, nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. Hey, Rob, you're my boy, Blue. You my boy. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely. We gotta rock it, right? Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Sir, yes, sir. Blue, you're my boy. Thank you, sir.
You're my boy. Gotta have Blue. Blue's my boy. Gotta have Blue up there. What else do we have? Quentin, good to see you, buddy. Crypto J505, what's going on? Crypto Perpetrator. Patreon secrets are safe with me. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Kizza. Usher Beak. Andy, my dude, what's up, buddy? He says, hit the like button, guys. Oh, house. Not sure which to buy. Got 1,500 and thinking Zbec, XCN, Jasmine, so many options. Let's make this money. I like it. 85 crash. Made it in time without a notification. There you go. Around what time do you start the Zoom calls, the one-on-ones? Shortly after, usually between 2:30 p.m. Central and 3 p.m. Central. Finally got my Zbec card. The banks can't freeze what they don't have. 100%. Nailed it. David with a Y. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Rip R. Show me a YouTube channel that comes even close to giving such sound and realistic crypto advice and strategy. Let's go, Rob. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I did Songbird DeFi protocol pools for a year. All the pools. There you go. Milk Money checking in. Happy Monday. Thank you, guys. I love Mondays. I love Mondays, man. Milk Money. Hey, Rob. Thankful for everything and all the gems. Hey, absolutely, man. Yo, yo, yo. Little slingshot before the moon. Let's go, AF. Hey, brother Rob. Happy Monday. Hope good times come soon, guys. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and join the Patreon. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lion Rob, thanks for everything you do. Everybody hit the like button. H. Barbarina. Where do you see Zbec next cycle? That's a tough one, man. Zbec's going to do absolutely phenomenal. It's like buying XRP in 2017, man. Get in where you fit in. More last shakeouts than coins in my wallet. Henry, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I hear, Rob, you still think 8 to 10 cents by August? I do think so. It depends on how the month plays out. These macroeconomic factors have been just destroying everything, though. 85 crash. Can I get TA on IOTX? Thanks, Rob. I suppose I could slide that in there for you. That's what she said. Let me see if I have it over here. I do. Look at that. It's on a nice little run today, eh? It's been on a nice little run lately. Look at that bad boy go. Wow, talk about a recovery, eh? Talk about a recovery. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, you've got a little bit of resistance right here because you held support here. Was resistance back here, was support here, a little bit back here. So you've got a little bit of a significant level where you are right now. I don't know if you're going to be able to break above it, honestly. Don't be shocked at all to see something like this happen, right? A little bit of a bull pennant, a little bit of consolidation in here for a bit before another leg up. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That's what I'd be watching for on IOTX. It's having itself a nice breakout right now, man. So absolutely. Am I bullish on Constellation DAG? Yes, I think that's a good project. Please dump the market. I like buying the fear. There you go. Mike, Rob, did you see that Science Card website? It's no longer working. Apparently, they may go under. Listen, I wouldn't feed into rumors and speculation like that. It's more logical to think that the Science Card website is down because the company just got purchased by another company and they're probably creating a new website. That would be more of a logical assumption as opposed to the website's down, so the company must be going bankrupt. But people like to spread FUD, right? So I'm not saying you are, but whoever you heard it from is probably trying to spread FUD. So liquidity, what's going on? Jake the Snake. Roberto, how does the Russell look? Risk on or off? Well, let's have a look, man. Let's have a looky-loo. I actually have the Bitcoin dominance chart up right now, but we can jump over to the Russell. Let me get rid of the M2's making another leg up as well, by the way. Very nice, very nice. So we were in a bull pennant here, but we broke it to the upside. We failed to retest. This is where Bitcoin just dragged everything down, right? So risk on kind of took a hit. Nevertheless, we are still in a bullish structure here. Fell out, but yeah, either way. Kind of looks like it's becoming more of a bull flag now than a bull pennant. So, yeah. Looks like more of a bull flag now, but with that crash that Bitcoin saw. But yes, it is looking bullish, definitely. Here's what's important. The Russell stayed above the 200, right? Very, very important. So, yes, I do think we're starting to see the appetite for risk on continue. If I go back over to Bitcoin dominance there, you'll see we took a little bit. We broke to the upside out of this bear pennant, but we're falling back down inside of it. We're back below resistance again, so that's good. So I am expecting this to still drop to the downside. It's not really much. All of these are kind of switching up. They were bear pennants. Now it's a bear flag instead. But either way, we'll take it, right? Bitcoin dominance looks like it's ready to dump to the downside as well. So what do we got? What do we got here? Andy, my dude, White House official says Bitcoin and crypto headed to 20 trillion after market structure bill passes. Let's go, man. That would be crazy. Could you imagine what like Zebek's price would be and all these other altcoins? My goodness. We're talking about a little over, what are we right now? A little over a $3 trillion market cap. Is that what we're looking at? Hang on a second. Let me see. Market cap 3.85 trillion. 3.85 trillion to 20 trillion. So that's like what is that? What, 3? Let's round it to 4 trillion right now. We'll be generous and round it to 4, right? That's freaking 4 16. That's another 4x from where the market cap is right now. That's crazy, guys. Holy smokes, that would be insane, brother. Exit flip. Yo, Rob, what's the liquidation data look like for BTC right now? Curious to see if it stacks. Let's have a look. I think it was stacking more towards the shorts, to be honest with you. But let's have a look. So right now on the daily, I mean, we got a lot of longs that have been put in today, but still it's only 1.65 billion. So we would need to fall, if we went back to 112,000, only 1.62 billion would be liquidated. It's not really a whole bunch. That's the daily though. And it's not much bigger on the long side. That's what she said. But if we go to the larger time frames, if we go to the weekly, look at all these shorts. If we go to $121,300 for Bitcoin, liquidates $9.23 billion worth of shorts on the weekly. That's crazy. And let's go to the monthly. Longs probably, oh, look at that. The shorts have taken over. Oh, guys, we are heavy on the short side, my friends. Look at this. A break back to all-time, let's go, what's the all-time high on 23,000? 123,500 that would liquidate, guys, almost $16 billion worth of shorts. Holy smokes. I would not be putting in longs or shorts right now. Man, oh man. That's going to be one hell of a short squeeze, my friends. Ramona, what's going on? Wealthy weirdos, hit the like button. Absolutely. Smash it, whack it, crack it. Let's get going. There she is, Gamma Goddess in the house. Good to see you, dear. Good to see you. I was wondering where you guys were at. I was like, where's Gamma? Where's Ramona? We got Andy in the house. Cryptis. There's Cryptis. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so we got a lot of shorts piling up right now, guys. But let's get into some of the news. Let's get into what we have to talk about today. But before we do, as always, guys, we have to give a quick thank you to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet. You know, use our link in the description. As you guys know, use the coupon code FUTURE20OFF. Get your free ZBEC airdrop. Guys, this deal only lasts until tomorrow. After tomorrow, it's done. Okay? So if you want your $20 off your Decent wallet and you want your free ZBEC airdrop, you have to get it purchased today or tomorrow. Now, for those of you who are having a little bit of a struggle and you're worried you're going to miss out on the airdrop, you've already made your purchase, guys. The deadline to get your information in to Decent for your airdrop is not until August 17th. That doesn't end tomorrow, okay? So you can relax a little bit there. But this sale ends tomorrow, guys, so do not miss it. Again, it's exclusive to this channel. Get your Decent wallet. Use the links down in the description. Follow the link. Follow the prompts. Use the coupon code FUTURE20OFF. Get your free ZBEC airdrop, my friends. Don't miss out on it. Okay, so a couple things to cover today, man. First, we'll start off with Mr. Pompliano. Check this out. I just thought this was crazy, guys. 50% of NVIDIA employees now have a net worth of at least $25 million.
At this point, I think everyone realizes that NVIDIA is a good company. Revenue's way up, profits are way up, and they're pretty much the backbone and infrastructure for the entire AI trend. But what you probably didn't know is that even though it's a multi-trillion-dollar company, the employees are getting paid very well. It's estimated that between 76 and 78% of all employees at NVIDIA are now millionaires. But that's not even the most mind-blowing stat.
That's
approximately
crazy.
50%, 1 out of every 2 employees at the company now has a net worth of over $25 million. Now, before all the critics start yelling and screaming and saying that they hate capitalism, think about this for a second. Of course, the CEO, the founders, the board of directors, and the executives, they're going to make a lot of money. They built a multi-trillion-dollar company. But this is a perfect example where a company giving stock ownership to their employees actually are able to reward the employees. How many businesses do you know where 1 out of every 2 employees is making something that is in the millions of dollars? First of all, there's not that many companies that get that big. But on top of it, This is the power of owning equity. And if there's one thing that the tech industry got right, it's that they hand out equity to the employees. So the people who help the founders, the executive, and the board actually build the company, they're also being rewarded. And so the fact that 1 out of every 2 NVIDIA employees has a net worth of over $25 million, that makes me happy. And it tells me that the people, they're actually capturing a lot of the value that they created.
Exactly. Running a company properly, guys. Love to see it. Let's get into the Grayscale stuff, shall we? I know you guys are curious about the Grayscale stuff. Let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? So Grayscale has moved 886.39 Bitcoin over to Coinbase. Grayscale, oh, hang on a second. One of my videos is playing for some reason. There we go. Okay, back to it. Grayscale recently transferred 886.39 Bitcoin, worth approximately $101 million from their trust addresses to Coinbase Prime on August 4th, today, according to Arkham blockchain data. The transfer, typical for custody management, did not prompt official comments from Grayscale or Coinbase, highlighting market vigilance for potential impacts and intent speculation. Grayscale, a prominent digital asset manager, transferred approximately 883.39 Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime. This movement of assets from 3 Grayscale trust addresses occurred today. Such transfers typically align with liquidity management, share redemptions, or internal rebalancing protocols. Grayscale's lack of an official response has spurred speculation on the transfer's intent. Some industry watchers raised concerns about potential impacts on Bitcoin's price. Although there were no immediate effects of the wider market, it appears that there is no specific quote or statement from Grayscale executives or Coinbase leadership regarding the recent BTC transfer, as outlined in the information you've provided. I'm here. No worries, Chappie's in the house. Got my airdrop application in. Nice. That's what I like to see, man. That's what I like to see. Okay. Did you know Grayscale has performed similar large-scale BTC transfers in the past year following ETF approvals, typically in response to institutional liquidity needs? Bitcoin's current price, $115,399, with a market cap of $2.29 trillion. According to CoinCo researchers, such transfers by Grayscale can signal broader market strategies rather than immediate trading impacts. Historical data supports this, noting that similar past transfers have led to increased market attention on Bitcoin liquidity inflows. Industry insights often emphasize strategic. So basically, guys, if you recall, back in 2024, January 2024, when the spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved, Grayscale went on for a while, Bitcoin was dumping, and people were wondering why. Well, here is your culprit, right? Grayscale likes to dump Bitcoin, and it's not really Grayscale per se. Their customers are dumping Bitcoin largely because the fees that they charge are absolutely insane compared to Fidelity and BlackRock and ARK Invest and all that, right? So, but you will recall Grayscale does like to dump. So this could cause a little bit of downward pressure, obviously selling pressure, on Bitcoin's price if Grayscale is in fact getting ready to dump. The good news is it's only $101 million worth of Bitcoin, which should get scooped up fairly quick. We've seen times where they've dumped like $1 or $2 or $3 billion worth, and that was far more impactful, right? So, stuff like Grayscale dumping is why I think Rob's right that the bear could be worse because, yes, exactly, Aaron, exactly. Thank you. You've got all these Bitcoin maxis out there that are pushing this narrative that institutions and big money are not going to sell their Bitcoin and they're not going to take profits because Bitcoin, right? It doesn't make sense. These people are multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. They didn't get that way by riding things back down into a bear market. They're not stupid. They're there's a reason they're called smart money and we're called dumb money, right? And it's precisely people who are called dumb money is because they're sitting there right now thinking, oh, all of these institutions are not going to take profits and they're going to be my exit liquidity. Right? Like, yeah, okay. Absolutely, Aaron. Absolutely, man. Okay, so what else do we have going on out there? We got a little bit of a bullishness on Ethereum, of course. Tom Lee expects the S&P 500 to reach new all-time highs in August.
Joining us now to talk markets and more is Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat, chief investment officer of Fundstrat Capital. He's also the chairman of BitMine as well as a CNBC contributor. We've got some new stuff to factor into your either bearish or bullish case. I assume it's still somewhat bullish, but okay, the economy looks like it may actually be slowing a little bit. Last week, the markets definitely retrenched. You've been solidly bullish since Liberation Day. Last week was a setback, and August is not always a great month. You think we get a little bit of choppiness here? Are you still bullish?
Well, last week was definitely consolidation because we had 5 days where the market opened higher and closed lower.
Really?
And they call that bearish engulfing. It makes sense because we're consolidating that 28% gain from the April lows. And on the job stuff, I think it's just the data's catching up to what we already know. The labor market's been soft, right? So it's, I think, a positive setup because now the Fed has more ammunition to make a dovish pivot in the fall. And it's not too late because we know the thing that they're going to stimulate is the housing market. And you had a couple guests earlier talking about that. And so that is what strengthens the economy in 2026. So I think it's quite a positive setup. We're just consolidating and then we make a bigger move higher.
Is it fair to say that since it's a dual mandate, that maybe the Fed should have been able to think that there was more risk to a slowdown than to inflation? Do you think they missed that a little bit and they're fighting? I don't know, but Trump said you got to cut, so they couldn't. Maybe they had to err that way just for political reasons.
Yeah, I think the Fed needs to demonstrate independence, but you're right. I think when they look at their dual mandate, they're probably drifting further from the employment metric now because the unemployment rate, if you use the existing participation rate before this report, it's almost 5% now. So the Fed now has to be considering the risk of jobs market actually going into a cycle of weakening.
Right, but you have also been, I guess dovish is the word, on inflation. You have not thought that there was going to be necessarily a big impact from the tariff regime.
That's right. And I think the biggest takeaway is, first of all, if you look at the latest inflation report, the goods component that are tariff driven, it's been only mild. But also if you use the same inflation measure Europe uses, which is inflation X housing, we're actually under 2%. The Fed, if they were the ECB, would be cutting right now.
That's interesting. So by the end of the year, or what target are you using now and what time frame?
I think we're gonna rally pretty strongly in August. So I think we can get back to 65 or get to 65, 6,600 all-time highs in the next couple weeks.
And then 7,000 in the next 12 months, above that?
Yeah, probably well above that.
Well above that.
Yeah.
BitMine, we mentioned that at the top, is going to be, in your view, the micro strategy or strategy of Ethereum or Ether.
Yes, that's right. Just a month ago, I was on the show to announce I was becoming chairman. And at the time, the stock was $4.50, and we announced a $250 million investment led by Founders Fund and Mosaics and others. But today, we announced that we reached almost $3 billion worth of ETH. And
the largest ETH holder then.
Yeah, the largest ETH treasury in the world and the third largest crypto treasury in the world. And we also announced that Bill Miller III made a major investment last week into BitMine. So that he joins Kathy Woods in investing in our company in the past couple weeks.
That's the Bill Miller from Legg Mason we all know.
Yes,
right?
That's right. The Bill Miller that we all know.
Yep.
Yes.
He was super early.
Yeah.
On crypto too.
No, that's what I was going.
Yeah.
I was saying super. He was like, right? What was he getting in Bitcoin at 2012, 13?
Yeah, he has some of the lowest cost Bitcoin out there.
What's your symbol? What it is Bitmine?
It's ticker BMNR. And the stock now is around 32. So in the past, $4.50, yeah.
I just realized I was muted when I said that. I said I'm very bullish on Tom Lee, guys. Extremely bullish on him. Why is this playing? Computer's acting up, I suppose. Anyway, yes, I'm very bullish on Tom Lee. Volks, there's a separate link in the description you use to go enter your Zbeck wallet airdrop address. Matt, with the gifted Crypto Blueprint membership, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. Always supporting Crypto Blueprint, my guy. Always supporting the hustle. Much, much appreciated, man. Much, much appreciated. Strawberry Dragon, 50 push-ups. Okay, let's get into it. Coinbase CEO blasts UK after crypto ad ban sparks major backlash. I told you guys before, while we're seeing a lot of adoption happening in the United States when it comes to crypto, we're seeing a lot of, positivity. It's not so easy for people over in the UK right now when it comes to crypto. Crypto is still being attacked out there, guys. You have to realize that. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong has issued a strong response after his company's crypto commercial was banned from airing on British television. UK networks withdrew the ad that purportedly focused on updating the financial system using the virtues of digital currencies, leading to an instant backlash. Vader bomb. Armstrong noted that the UK's decision to ban the ad indicates it touched on a sensitive issue within the country's financial establishment. He stated that when a message is silent, it often contains a truth that institutions find uncomfortable to confront. Armstrong clarified that he was not attacking the people of Britain, but instead attacking the fact that the UK had an antiquated financial infrastructure. He added that a more open regulatory environment had seen such ads fly in the United States without concerns. But Armstrong, in his speech, alluded to the fact that many people in the UK have been associating cryptocurrencies with gambling. According to him, this medieval perception of crypto is holding back the complete realization of its role in the achieving financial innovation and disseminate access. Armstrong's comments have reignited public discourse on how the UK is handling the rise of digital assets. He cautioned that any such attempts to stop talking about crypto might not help and paralyze the financial system from making the necessary changes. The Coinbase executive further stated that censorship is just a way of drawing more attention to the silenced message. He embraced such criticism, saying that it is, by its nature, a way of promoting a true value of crypto in society. Nevertheless, Coinbase is dedicated to spreading awareness by using a responsible message, irrespective of limitations. The company sees public debate as essential in challenging outdated systems and advocating for more inclusive financial futures. So the UK still trying to fight against. Did they hire Gary Gensler over there? Is he running things? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, not as easy over there, guys. It's not as easy over there as it is becoming in the United States right now. You got to keep that in mind. NEC Director Kevin Hassett, the jobs data have become very unreliable.
The fallout continues after President Trump fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics following a dismal jobs report. Joining us right now is White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett. Kevin, I want to thank you for joining us. Let's just start with a very basic question. The president said on Friday that he believed that these numbers were rigged, that they were politically motivated. Do you believe that to be true?
You know, as an economist, I like to go for what I can prove, and what I can prove is that the data have become very unreliable. As you know, I've been on this show on Squawk Box before I was here at the White House pretty much every jobs day for the last 20, 25 years, right? We would come up to New York and I'd be on set and we'd talk about the jobs numbers. And when I looked at the revisions that came out last week, I thought they had to be a typo or something. You probably thought so too. And, you know, it's something that has been a work in progress for us at OMB and CEA here at the White House to try to understand why the data have become so unreliable. You know, there's some part of the story about response rates and so on, but I think it's really important now that we get a fresh set of eyes over there to try to modernize the labor data, because it has to be transparent, it has to be reliable, it has to be something the market can make big bets on. And right now it's not. When the revisions are bigger than the number itself, then you know you got troubles.
Kevin, here's the question though, and I think we can agree that there could be a modernization effort, an effort to improve the way the numbers are collected so you aren't getting into this revision scenario. Perhaps the model itself needs to be rethought. Sure. I think there's probably a wide agreement on that. However, Janet Yellen said over the weekend that this is what happens in a banana republic when it's considered to be political to remove somebody like that. And as I mentioned, the comment, at least initially, was that this was a rigged effort, that these numbers were being politically manipulated. And so my question to you is, to the extent you want these numbers to have credibility and you want this department to have credibility, who do you think would be the right kind of person that would be able to reestablish whatever credibility you think was lost on Friday, recognizing that the credibility, if you will, of that group may not be as high as you'd want it to be on the sort of metrics of the numbers and your views that the numbers are not as good as they should be, but not that they're being politically manipulated?
Right. Well, first of all, they could be politically manipulated because they're so untransparent. There's a black box system out there making the jobs numbers that needs to be improved. Indeed, the UK saw a similar circumstance like this a few years ago, and they actually shut down the data agency for a month or so until they got their ducks in a row. The fact is that we had these blockbuster numbers for Joe Biden last year that suddenly we lost about 1 million of them after he dropped out of the election. The fact is that you know, I'm an economist, I'm not a politician, but when politicians look at numbers that make them wonder, then that suggests that there needs to be more transparency. So for example, if I'm running the BLS and I have the biggest revision, really think about it, the biggest revision outside of COVID in 50 years, then it's incumbent on me to explain why in a very transparent way, to show how the numbers add up, to show exactly where the revision came from and what you're doing to address it so it doesn't happen again. If you don't do that, then you create a circumstance where politicians are going to wonder. And for goodness sakes, we know that hopefully not much in the data area, but all over the US government, there have been people who have been resisting Trump everywhere they can. And so to make sure that that's not going to happen in the data agencies, to make sure that the data are as transparent and as reliable as possible, we're going to get highly qualified people in there that have a fresh start and a fresh set of eyes on the problem.
So Kevin, what I was wondering was I'm ascribing all kinds of conspiracies now, theories to the president and calling for Jay Powell for months to be fired. Do you acknowledge maybe that, I mean, there were two risks from tariffs, and I don't know which one you think was more of a risk for the Fed. One is that the uncertainty that businesses had might cause something to slow down, hiring, capital expenditure. That might affect the labor market or the economy in terms of growth. And the other one was whether the one-time cost increases, you know, there could be retaliation and it ends up being a second derivative and it ends up being inflation. But I could see the president wanting lower rates as sort of to go hand in hand with a tariff regime. And then I thought if he insisted on it enough, which Bach, you know, basically put Jay Powell into a corner, he couldn't cut. Then when the economy does slow down, you've got a fall guy ready-made for the president to point to for why it's not the tariffs, it's that Jay Powell didn't cut rates. Do you acknowledge that maybe there was a slowdown to be expected from the tariffs that maybe you foresaw?
Well, I mean, what we talked about on your show, Joe, is that we think that, especially at the beginning, that a lot of the tariffs are going to be borne by foreign producers and foreign countries. And that's something we've seen in the data. Again, inflation data are down now at the lowest level that we've seen in over 5 years. And so the bottom line is, I say the frustration that the president has is that he believes that other countries have cut rates and the U.S. hasn't. And he worries, just as with the BLS, he worries that maybe there's some partisan calculus going on here. And if you look at the Fed votes, it's very disappointing, I think, as a person who's long believed in the independence of the Fed, that we would have Fed votes that were separated along party lines. It's very disappointing to me that the Fed would be putting an explanation out there for these unusually high rates, that there's this massive uncertainty and massive inflation coming from tariffs without actually showing us their work.
Right.
So
Yeah,
give
but
us
I
the
think
work
it
so that
depends.
we could actually give us the work. Show us
Kevin,
why you think it is, and then maybe we'll be convinced and know it's not partisan.
There is a lack of transparency coming out of the Fed for sure. I mean, you're starting to hear that a lot. Screams for transparency. They say things, but they don't back it up with anything tangible, right? Jake the Snake, the UK tends to adopt US pop trends 5 to 10 years after you've already moved on. Wouldn't shock me if we saw adoption next cycle. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Z-Man Brownie. Rob, what are your thoughts on StarkNet? I don't really know too much about it, man. Strawberry Dragon, 50 push-ups, like I said. Liquidity, I appreciate you enlightening us, Rob. I won't be delusional enough to think things will pump forever. Take your profits and run until the bear market. Absolutely. That's how it's got to be, man. Sweet Biddy, what's going on? Good to see you. What else we got? 101 mil is nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that will be a quick pickup. Yeah, that's the good thing, right? I mean, I remember last year they were dumping like a couple of billion at a time or something like that. That was crappy, man. That was crappy. Nvidia employees. Yeah, we need to go work at Nvidia, man. Holy smokes! Apparently, you can just be a millionaire working there. They trap shorts and longs. Yeah, they're going to go after the shorts, in my opinion. They're going to go after my shorts. Kizza, fair play to NVIDIA. Sounds like they're sharing the wealth. Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, all right, guys. Well, listen, I have to get over to the Patreon. Oh, Sweet Biddy says, hey, Rob, glad to catch you live today. Awesome to have you here, my friend. Awesome to have you. I got to get over to the Patreon, guys. I have a live coaching call that I got to get to over there. If you want to participate in that, guys, book yourself into one of our coaching calls. Guys, it's less than a cup of coffee a day. It's extremely affordable compared to what everybody else is charging. Let us give you the tools you need to succeed in this space. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. You can't miss it. Join the community of thousands of people today, my friends. I will see you over there on the Patreon tonight. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.